Welcome to another episode of Jesus and Gym Shoes, where we have unparalleled conversations about life skills in Jesus. I have one of my good friends since I wish y'all could see him.
Oh, they can't see me.
No, they can't see you.
I was about to catch the Holy Ghost.
Oh man.
Hold my mute while I shout. Do your thing, dog. My bad.
Again, this is my friend Tommy Westbrook of Westbrook Work. What is it? Westbrook Realty. Tommy Westbrook Realty, and he got a whole bunch of different companies. He got, what all do you do, Tommy?
Westbrook Work. I eat. I remain black, and I'm a stay black, man. But credit and real estate, man. Credit, real estate, and fitness, man. Financial health, body health, mental health. Let's get it.
Tommy is probably one of the most energetic people I've ever met in my entire life. And he has been this way since 2006 when I first met him. And I despise Tommy because Tommy used to pick on me. Tommy's a bully.
Thank God for Jesus.
Thank God for Jesus. You hear me?
Thank God for Jesus. And you got your reparations. That time I hid behind the wall and you slapped me.
Yeah,
you got your reparations.
I did.
You got your reparations.
I did. And Tommy and I have been inseparable. Like whenever like our paths have like separated, then they come back, and then we just have been inseparable since then. Great guy, and he's always been so dedicated, and I always just learn so much from just being around him. And the first thing I ask everybody, or one of the things that I ask everybody is, what's your favorite pair of gym shoes?
Oh man, look, my favorite pair of gym shoes, man, is my feet, high-tech feet. Look, look, I'm high-tech feet. I like to run barefoot, dog. I ain't gonna lie to you. But if I had to put some shoes on, damn, that's a great question, man. I'm gonna go black Air Force One because I'm always on it. Black Air Force One. I'm always on that.
A West Side Negro is always on West Side, no matter what type of scenario you put them in. Out of all the shoes, oh God. Tommy is West Side of Chicago through and through. If it's just down bottom, he said black Air Force One. I thought you was gonna say Chucks because you usually work out in Chucks. I was going, black Air Force Ones. But
today, that's how I feel.
Okay, that's fair. I still have a pair that are like, they aren't beat up, but I'm probably never gonna wear them again.
No, as you should. As you should. I'm gonna keep mine low top with white socks. Just to let you know I'm coming.
Just to let you know I'm coming. Do the white? Is it the white crew socks with Nike on them, or is it just like the white crew socks?
See, I'm gonna get specific on it. It's actually one sock longer than the other, so I roll it a little bit so they all even. I slide it down.
Do you like cuff it up under your foot so that way?
Yep. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I remember the first time Tommy took me out west. And I remember the first time Tommy took me out west. This was a foreign land. Like, I'm a South Sider, and I never traveled out west. Like, I would go up north, I go to the burbs, but I had never been out west. And Tommy like took me, and I was just like, where are we? Like, it was a Twilight Zone moment because I had never experienced such a space of community, but it was ghetto. But it was
out West
beautiful.
Illinois, yeah. Out West Illinois is illustrious. We got everything you're looking for, from the bottom to the top. From the bottom to the
bottoms.
Yeah,
tops and bottoms.
Tops and bottoms. There you go.
Tops and bottoms for the first time.
I know. There you go. Get you a combo. Get you some black Air Force Ones and build your way up, man. Come on.
Oh, good. Everything start from the black Air Force One. So if you're not familiar with Chicago and the west side of Chicago, Tops and Bottoms is a store that has been around since the age of time. Like it is a staple out west, and you can go in there and you can get you'll know what's popping in the hood based off of what's happening at Tops and Bottoms. They get all the dopest gym shoes. They probably got Davucci in there still. Like what's those hats with the watch on them?
$150.
$150.
$150.
I know
$150. Yeah, Uncle Remus.
Yep.
I know y'all like Harold's on the south side. We got Uncle Remus right down the street,
So I'm probably gonna lose my south side card for this.
What's that? Come on with it. Let the truth be known. Jesus in gym shoes. He's watching.
But I like the bread that Uncle Remus put in they meals.
Look, come on.
And that chicken is fried real crispy every time. It's fried every time. It is fried really, really crispy. And I like the sauce. I like the sauce.
I thank you for that confession. I'm not Catholic, but it definitely was a Catholicism moment. It was a Catholicism moment.
So I tell people I only go out west for women and food. Like, ain't no reason. Like, it ain't nothing like a West Side girl, and it ain't nothing like food out west. Cause you gonna eat good if you out west. You go,
and y'all can get back to back. If anything jump down,
yeah, exactly. She gonna fight.
Come on.
Yeah, she gonna fight for you. She gonna fight, G. Like a West Side girl gonna fight. I remember the first West Side girl I ever dated, G. She had an old woman name. I pray she listened to this, but I'm not gonna put her name out there. But she had an old woman name, and like I seen her fight before. Like I seen her beat somebody up before.
If she had an old woman name, she was a baby at one point, so she grew up going through hell. So just imagine the hand she got. Imagine
her hands were steady. Her hands were steady, bro. The one thing, her hands was steady. I was like, oh, I ain't never mess with her. I couldn't. That's certain woman you don't talk trash to, bro. What I look like talking trash to her? And I just seen her like dismember somebody with a 2-piece. Like, no, you don't do that. You don't do that.
Look, and she had brothers and cousins and thugs and busters behind her. And look, you had to go through them and still had to face her as the final boss.
Dog, she stayed on Madison. She stayed on Madison and is it Kildare? I think she stayed on Madison and Kildare.
Oh yeah. She out west.
Out west. Yeah, I used to rock with her whenever I would used to. Well, she had a cousin that stayed out south. That's how I met her. I met her at the beach on 63rd Street. Mm-hmm. But yeah, she was cold, and she was cold with them hands. But Tommy, so me and Tommy would switch. I brought Tommy out south, and Tommy came to my dad's. My dad's a pastor, so he came to my dad's. Birthday celebration or something.
That was real.
Yeah. He's like, where in the world are we? Had him on 55th Street. And he was like, what is this? But yeah, so and that was in college, but like since that time, Tommy's gone on to be an entrepreneur and just do some amazing things. We were teammates, but we've become like really, really good friends. Just even outside of that. But I really wanted you on here because this nigga fixed my credit. Like, and
real talk.
I'm thankful because I'm able to look at my credit score and not hide my face when I look at it. What happened that you started to go down that road of wanting to help people with their credit?
Man, I had bad credit myself. I started off, I had bad credit. I decided to do something about it. Obviously, just like a lot of people that have bad credit, you find out you want to do something about it when you're trying to buy something. I wanted to get a new car, and they told me I couldn't get a pack of gum in my name. And so I had to go back and start the
Yeah.
process for myself, man. And it's been history ever since, man. I've been on fire for just sharing how much credit could having a good name could help us leverage and really open doors that in my case was closed, you know. So that's why I started, Donald. I started off, I had bad credit myself. My partner, JT, he actually went to Illinois State. He helped me. He helped me as well. I was at a 400, and ended up getting to about 650. We were able to add some what they call authorized users. So piggybacked off his credit. He had an 800 credit score. It got me into the 700s. I was able to access some high limit credit cards, get a brand new car, start using rewards points on cards to travel. It changed my life. It changed my life. And you couldn't shut up. I couldn't shut up about telling people about it. And I wanted to help everybody who saw value in it. And so we started Thomas and Westbrook. And man, thank you for allowing us to help you, man. Because to hear stories like this and to be a part of it, man, is a blessing.
Yeah. And we speaking of like teammates of mine, we got brother Jarek Thomas on here, JT Money. So I'll tell you a story about JT. I had come in freshman year. No, it's not bad. I came in freshman year. It was my first practice. I was a walk-on. So with being a walk-on, you come through and, first practice with the team or whatever. And I run the ball, just simple drill. I run the ball. JT hit me so hard, bruh. Like JT like unload. I had never been hit that hard before. And I was just like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm in college now. I'm not I am not in high school no more. I am in college. That hit solidified. We were I remember we were on the practice field, the one, the practice field like by the track where defense was practicing, because we wasn't on the field. It was like soccer or something on the field, on the main field. And we were over there and just trying to, Coach Scott was like, yeah, just, do this play, walk through this. And I'm coming running. JT was just like, wow. It's like, oh, nigga, I ain't do nothing to you. I was like, I did not do nothing to you. I ain't do nothing.
I'm just running the ball, man.
I just wanted the ball. Like, where you do that?
Man, that's just something in my nature. I still, man, I'm a football coach out here at this private school, and I still got it in me, man. I be getting the hand shield and going across kids' heads.
Oh my goodness.
I can't help it.
I know. I coached one season and was like, yeah, I can't do this. I'm too aggressive. I'm too aggressive still. Like when it's in you, it's really, really in you, and you're just like, yeah, it's not for me.
Yep, pretty much.
I was like, I ain't get the
kids
picture.
Nowadays don't understand that. Like I'm like, I will still hit you. Like, don't get it twisted.
Really hard, really, really hard. But I wanted to hop in and JT, we were talking to Tommy about how he got into it, and he mentioned that you helped him out with credit. Like, what was your story of like repairing your credit?
Awesome. Well, thank you for having me. First off, I'm truly appreciative of this opportunity to just speak, man, and just kind of pull from the cuff. Long story short, I have an addiction. I am addicted to applying for credit cards. So when I first started, man, I was like, I don't know what it was, man. It was just the thrill of getting approved or getting denied. I'm like, I click the button. I'm like, ooh, am I gonna get it? Mm-hmm. No? Oh man. So that's kind of how I started off with credit. I remember being up at ISU, and I got mad one day, and you know how we do this emotional spending. I went and bought one of them media players because I had broken the iPad that I had won in that contest. And that was the first thing I put it on was a credit card. So my credit journey started back then, but more particularly recently with me and Tommy connected. We honestly we were trying to get a house, man, and we sold. Me and my wife was, when I met her, she was in the townhouse already. We sold that, tried to build a house. House we started building, they wanted 6%. This was probably back in like 2018, and I'm like, I'm not paying 6% for no loan on no house. No way, no house. So we backed out of that, and I was able to find a crib that I was able to go in on my own, but it just brought to my attention like how important credit was. My credit had been good, and my wife's, it was right there, but not over that 700 cusp. And just seeing how it affected us, man, and the way that we had to adjust the maneuver, I was like, yeah, man, I got to figure this stuff out. So I started talking with Tommy, and he gave me some tips and tricks. I applied them. And then when they started working, I'm like, okay, I got this thing. So started, well, let me back up. I got a real cold mortgage lender down here. His name's Tom. He works for a company called Lux Mortgage, or he owns it. And he just put me on game, man. Just told me what I could do, introduced me to authorized users and all this, like this whole new world. So I was like, okay, I can roll with this, and started playing with some stuff, threw some AUs on my wife's credit on cards that I had over the years of being addicted to getting that approval, just adding her to them and just watching her score increase. And it just caught my attention. And from there, I was like, all right, Tommy, like we can do something with this thing. And we just dove in, started learning more and more, man. And the rest is history. Now we have a company where we're helping individuals try to accomplish the same thing. And yeah, it's a journey, man. It's always interesting. You never know what you're going to get because everybody's credit's different, everybody's story is different, and I enjoy it. I enjoy helping people and learning and just the whole process, man.
Understood. I think with that, what was that like, being in a relationship and then, or being married, and you're like, was it a difficult conversation to have, or because you was like, yeah, I know your wife was probably set, like, yeah, she had the house picked out, or maybe even you had the house picked out, and then you were just like, yeah, I'm not paying 6%. Like, what was that conversation like?
Well, I don't know. Like, Tommy's been married, and I'm not sure if you married yet.
Nah,
man.
Not
So in marriage, just right off the cusp, man, it's a lot of giving. It's a lot of giving. And me and her come from two different like situations, like most couples.
Yeah.
I was raised in a single family household. Mom worked 3-4 jobs. Don't know a whole bunch about credit and stuff or money. And then my wife over here, both her parents, they're well off. Was able to set her up. So it was tough, honestly, just trying to find some common ground in those money conversations, because money is one of those topics that really test your marriage, especially if you're on two different wavelengths when it comes to whether you like to spend, save, do a little bit of both. I think it took lots of patience on my part and just time and persistence, and really showing my wife, like, hey, here's what we're going to do. Here's how it works. And just being like giving her bits and pieces as opposed to just opening the floodgates, because I have a problem with doing that. Like, I'm gonna give you all this information and you better digest it, because if you don't, I'm going. I've had to learn within myself, like, okay, let me pull back. I need to give her bits and pieces so that she can digest it, understand it, and we can move forward. And it's taken some years, and we definitely are closer in that regard now than where we were when we first got married. But yeah, just being flat out, it was tough, man. Because you're right. This house we picked, it was fully customizable. She had to pick the countertops, the cabinets, the flooring, you could delete a
Size
wall,
of the
add a
closet.
wall.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
like
yeah.
you could pick everything out. And to get to the end of it, and you put some money down, and when you back out of something, that they don't give you your money back. They like,
Yeah.
nah, play that. Thank
That's
you.
ours.
Have a
Yeah,
nice day.
thanks. Uh-huh. That's crazy.
And
I couldn't
yeah,
imagine. I couldn't imagine like, woof. But I
yeah,
mean,
man.
so even with my credit journey, I'll be a bit transparent. So even with mine, and I mean, mine isn't even done, yet. I, was able to get the building. I had to pay down some points because of just my
Right.
credit score being tanked. And I had 2 years of of being underemployed. So the year like 2020 was the year, or 2019 into 2020 was me trying to pay everything off. And I was like, I'm buying me a building. You know, it's weird to be thankful that COVID, kind of helped me out, but those rates were extremely low, because I probably would have been one of those 6%ers, in normal times. But, it's weird that learning the difference of what it takes to get a car as opposed to like what it takes to get a credit card, or what it takes to even get a house. Like all of these different things that take credit are incredibly different. And can you guys talk to, somebody maybe listening and they're saying, my credit's in the trash right now. Like my credit is, like Tommy was saying, my credit's like a 400. What would you tell somebody to do to start off?
You want to take that, Tommy, or you want me to?
Jump in. I'll kick it off. First thing I would say is find out where you at. Get an idea, a snapshot of your financial report card. When we got out of school, we had our ABC report card, and it's no different when it comes to credit and our credit worthiness and our good name. Is we have our credit report as our financial report card. So let's see exactly what's on there. Because I know a lot of people, grew up with their mama putting their bills in their name, or having some surprises on your credit report. And so let's at the bare minimum start there. And then JT, what would you say will be next?
Once you figured out where you're at, I would say get connected with either a trusted credit repair company, or start like figure out where you're at, and then figure out what your credit score is dictated off of. It's one thing to definitely know where you're at. Am I still echoing? Or I was echoing.
So when you talk about credit readiness, or the snapshot, I don't want us to get remiss in or get lost in the jargon of those terms. Like before they find somebody, to look at their credit, what is it that they are looking for when they look at their, ABCs of their credit? What is it? How do they judge it, and what are they looking for?
Great question. So definitely you want to start with your credit monitoring. So you have to have good information to know where you're at. A lot of people use Credit Karma, the free Experian app, all these free apps. What they don't realize is the reason why they're free is because the marketers for these credit cards and all this pay for the website so that you'll come there. Credit Karma will tell you, hey, you got a great score. How about you apply for this credit card? It just boosts their odds because they're in front of a lot of people and they're giving out free scores. That's really all it does. But it doesn't give you the detailed information that you need to know, like, hey, you have an account that you missed 10 late payments on this, just killing your score. Like, here's the 10 months that you missed. Here's the account number. Here's what it says on that credit profile. But to answer your question, they need to look at things like the credit utilization. They want to make sure that that's at least under 10. I know a lot of people say 30, but even as you get closer to that 30 range, it'll still affect your score because your credit utilization just shows how much of your total credit you're using. So for example, for simple numbers, if I have $10,000 in available credit and I have $5,000 used, you're at a 50,000 or 50% utilization. That's high. So you want that thing to be more around like 10%. So I only got $1,000 out so that I'm able to manage the credit that I have. Banks just want to know you're able to, like, if I lend you money, I want to know that you're going to take care of my money and you're going to bring it back to me on time and I don't have to worry about you.
So
also, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, so I was going to say, so they're looking at the credit utilization. They're also looking for accounts that may be past due significantly or past due period. They're also looking for accounts that may not necessarily be theirs, right?
Correct. So payment history makes up 35% of that whole score. The other 30% is your utilization. Then they look at the different types of the credit accounts that you have, whether it's an installment loan, which is auto, house, things that you pay over a longer period of time. And then they also look at that revolving credit where you got store cards, credit cards, secured cards, different things like that. All those different types of credit kind of make up your whole credit score because, you know, if you have those different types, it's like, okay, you're getting lended from multiple banks, you can handle yourself in your credit.
So with that, you know, then they would reach out to, once they're able to see all of that, then they can reach out to somebody that can, you know, kind of do the work for them, right? That can kind of help them out. What has been one of the craziest like situations that you guys have come in contact with?
Oh man.
I think my favorite, right, is no credit at all. No credit at all. Somebody hops in and sees that they have no credit at all. Where they have a clean start, a clean slate, and they're looking to build credit. You know, I had a family that wanted to actually get a home. And so we were able to see that they had a 0 credit score. And so if you're listening to this right now, stop what you're doing. I would go to thomasandwestbrookconsulting.com and you'll actually get access to our free lender success checklist. This goes over all the information we just covered, as well as it gives you a starting point and an understanding of what makes up your credit and what you need to do in order to go get a house, a vehicle, or what to do if you don't have any credit. But to answer your question, Donald, having no credit at all, because I think the beautiful part about credit is that you could ruin your credit 99 times and you can rebuild it 100. And so I love that fact because so many times as a person myself who had bad credit, you know, who had restless nights, who was stressed out, who was having mail come to the house, me and the debt collectors were on a first name basis. I never forget his name, Robert. Robert was violating my rights, dog. Like he was calling me at work. He was calling my employers. He was calling me at dinner, you know, and he was threatening me. And I know it's countless other people in Chicago, around the world, in America that's dealing with this. And so if you want peace of mind, you know, if you want to improve your credit, and also this is another thing, is the wealth gap in the Black community compared to the white community is outrageous. You know, our average household income for a Black family is $17,000, while on the other hand, a white household is over $100,000. And so I tell people this all the time. It's easier for you to get $100,000 in credit than it is to go work and get $100,000. You know, so we have an opportunity to leverage our good name as well as take advantage of opportunities that we wouldn't have normally had. You know, like our great grandparents were buying things cash. Houses were $5,000 and $10,000. You know, so for us in this day and age to buy a house, cash, you hear me? to buy a house cash would take a long time. So we're talking about legacy. We're talking about your kids' kids. And so if you're listening now, sign up for the free ebook. It'll go over the payment history, the utilizations, and last but not least, we truly believe that the consumer or us, the people, we can take care of our own credit. And so we actually have a credit repair kit that allows you to take care of your own credit, because paying for someone to repair your credit isn't always the most cost-effective thing. That's a privilege. And so we want to meet people right where they're at. And I know when I had bad credit, I didn't have the means. As a matter of fact, just to pay my monthly minimum was a challenge. So we have it extremely affordable. We have it laid out to extremely fast results that people can do it themselves. In regards to, you know, the letters you need, the information is there on how to structure your credit to get it exactly where you need it to be, to get a house, to get a car, or to even one of JT's expertise is to fund your business. So many entrepreneurs are starting up. So many people are independent contractors, driving Uber, are, you know, doing Lyft, are doing things in addition to their 9 to 5 that it only makes sense in order for your business to go to the next level that we use OPM. All right, that's other people's money to leverage.
We're gonna talk online about that, because you know I'm trying to
I'm trying to give me a quick one, but
nah, you know, I ain't but you know, I get the stuff that I'm trying to do, you know, buy another building or you know, have a couple of different properties. I'm not one, you know, some people want to, you know, flip or, you know, kind of do those things. I want to have, because I was raised in a single parent household. Mom Deuce had 3 boys in her house. So, you know, I don't want to be in a situation where I'm older and I don't have, you know, that income coming in. I'm thankful now because I'm in a place that I've never been able to be in before, where I'm comfortable. You know, like I'm not wealthy by any means, but I am most definitely comfortable where I know that I could go to the store and I can buy groceries, right? And like that's
huge.
You can pump your gas, and not worry about that.
I can pump my gas and not worry about my car, what's in my account. Like,
come on,
you know. But I mean, it came with like just settling down and be like, hey, you can't spend all that money doing all these doing foolishness. And I know a lot of people like to travel. I haven't gotten to the place of having, you know, rewards points yet where I can, you know, travel based off rewards. I'm gonna get there, you know, soon. But, you know, like today, one of my friends was like, yeah, I'm doing something, you know, later on, and this is the date. And I was able to go online and buy a ticket, right? I didn't have to worry about, oh, let me do it in 2 weeks, right? And that was only $200, right? And there was a time where $200 was crazy. You know, it's like, I got to wait a little bit just because I wasn't making enough money for me to do it. But I also had a crazy amount of bills and like debtors that were reaching out to me, you know, for stuff that I didn't even realize that was happening. I remember being 18 and I needed to do something, and I looked at my credit score for the first time, and there was a hospital bill on there from just a time I went to the hospital. And usually they would have sent it to my mom, but because I was 18, they put it in my name. So, you know, it went to collections because it was in my name, not my mother's, you know, because I wasn't a minor anymore. So now I started off at 18 with something in collections. And so it's been like an uphill battle since then. But now, you know, I'm grateful that like I'm able to be at a place where ain't nothing on my credit, you know, like we got some straight. So I'm a testament to it, to, you know, Tommy and JT, you know, helping me out. But it also, you know, I don't want it to be remiss that like you still got to do the work, right? You can't go
100%.
And like last month was one of those months where like I know my credit score went down because I just like I I just didn't pay before the statement date. Like the statement date and like understanding that there's a separate time between the payment date and the separate date. I mean the statement date. And so it's like,
Yeah.
oh crap.
Yeah.
I had something that I had to take care of for my building, and I spent a lot of money on my credit card, and I knew I had the cash, but I just didn't, pay it off right away. And I was like, oh crap, that did hit for the statement date. So, it's little things like that you kind of got to play the game and you got to remember about when it comes to credit. But, I'm grateful that I, listen. And I'm able to say, oh, thank you guys. But, what is it that you guys ultimately, because I love hearing about success stories. What is it that you guys are dreaming of doing, right? What's your aspirations for yourself or for, Thomas and Westbrook?
So look, you said a lot there and you touched on a lot of points, but one thing I want to back up on real quick is you're not too far off from hitting the points game. So like I told you earlier, I'm
Right.
addicted to credit cards. So just something as simple as finding a reward card with your bank that you bank with right now, and figuring out how they redeem points and using your credit card instead of your debit card. And one strategy that I love to tell people is this: when you have a credit card and you're not disciplined, you do this. So you're going to have your checking account, a savings account, and your credit card. Well, every time you swipe that credit card, your debit account isn't going to match the credit card. So all you do is every time you swipe that credit card, transfer the same amount out of your debit account into your savings account. And then, like you were saying, at your statement date, pay the bill. Every day you're transferring those funds out of that account. So now that your debit account reflects your credit account, once that statement date comes up, because you want to pay attention to the statement date, because that's the date that if that date passes, you're going to pay interest on that money. So you want to make sure you pay that date or the statement balance so that you don't have to pay the bank any money. And then you're able to keep track of it a little bit better because it forces you to pay attention, because like, all right, dang, I got to transfer this money out. Okay, my debit account only has $100 in it, but my credit card's showing $2K. Do I spend the $2K because I can, or do I be disciplined and only spend that $100 because that's all I have left in my debit account? Mm-hmm. And if you do that, you'll accumulate the points for spending the same money that you're going to spend anyways. And here's the power of points, right? So right before the pandemic hit, me and my wife were able to, I use 2 cards at a time particularly, but I have a hotel card and a flights card. So I have a Delta Sky Miles card and a Hilton Honors card. Mm-hmm. And I had enough points on both of them that for our anniversary, I was going to fly us out to San Fran, put us in a hotel for 4 nights, and the flights were taken care of for both of us. Mm-hmm. All off of points. And it doesn't take long to accumulate those because I just use the credit cards for the same spending that I'm going to do anyways. Mm-hmm. And, just the fact that for spending that money, I get a free flight and a hotel stay, like that's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
So stop what you're doing and log into Thomas and Westbrook Consulting, because we actually giving away the game in our credit building kit, like for real.
I mean, just go ahead and do my job for me, G. Like, hey, I can't even. Every time I'm like, oh, okay, I'm about to like shout out the website. Tommy comes and is like, oh yeah, Thomas and Westbrook Consulting, and I'm like, dang, bro, like let me get a chance, dog. Like,
let me run it. Let me point it. Let me run point.
Yeah, let me
quarterback that thing.
Yeah, like let me be Chris Paul right now. I got you, LeBron. I got you, dog. Like just LeBron, I got you. I can get you the ball. I got you, LeBron.
Shooters gonna shoot. Shooters gonna shoot.
Clearly, they gonna shoot. Well, since you want to talk, Tommy, what's next for you, dog? What's your aspirations?
Oh, hold on. That wasn't even my dream, home slice.
I know he just cut everybody off.
Yeah, that wasn't even my dream. Man,
what's your dream, JT?
man, my dream is to have cash flow from multiple businesses and just be able to post up, teach people, man, on how to be more financially literate. You know, because you were talking about the credit cards, the statement dates, and all that. This is foreign to people, man. We weren't taught this stuff. We both grew up in a single parent household. Like my mom don't know this stuff, and you know that's the. I always ask myself, you know, like, all right, Lord, I grew up. I'm a Christian first and foremost, but I grew up in Pine Hills, which is a rough part of Orlando, Florida, and I'm like, all right, what makes me different than all the other dudes that are stuck over there? And really, it's just knowledge, man. I'm willing to get up and go seek the knowledge. You know, Lord says, knock and the door will be open for you. Like you gotta seek. You gotta seek him and you gotta seek the knowledge. And getting the knowledge, man, it totally changes everything. You know, me and Tommy wouldn't be here today if me and him didn't make a decision like, hey, bro, we got to do this here. We got to go seek this knowledge. And it's been a game changer for us. So I want to have enough income coming in, man, where all our expenses are taken care of in my household. And we're traveling, helping people, working on our own terms. Like, because everybody's like, oh, I want to retire. I don't want to retire. I want to work, but I want to work on my terms. I want to help people when I want to help people. You know, I want to go places when I want to go. And in order to do that, you have to be disciplined now so that in the future, you can have what you want. Yeah. And that's really it, man. I just, and leaving something for, you know, once me and my wife decide to have kids, like leaving something for them in the future and leaving a blueprint, leaving, you know, something behind that they can say, okay, here's what they was doing. Oh, okay, this makes sense. Now I can take what they've built and continue to build on to that.
Yeah, I think that's amazing. I think that's amazing. And even with that, the podcast, you know, we have unparalleled conversations about life skills in Jesus. And I think that money management, learning the ins and outs of credit, is a life skill, right? It's something that you actually need for you to move on in life and like have a decent life, you know, because not everybody's able. No,
it's hard, man. And you got to try some stuff. You're going to get it wrong. Like you can just go ahead and expect that you're going to blow your credit up, or, you know, you're going to get some money taken from you, or whatever, you're going to lose some money, whatever the case may be. But as long as you continue to learn from your mistakes and just apply the knowledge, like it always comes full circle. Like you'll figure it out. You know? And it'll start making sense to you.
That makes sense. I mean, it started to make sense to me for sure, because I knew that I know for sure that when it came time for me to start looking at the building more aggressively or go through the process of trying to get the building in like May of 2020, there were some missteps with paying creditors and not getting them to take things off, and, you know, settling stuff and not necessarily having them with stuff that I could have avoided. Like it was just so many things that I could have, so much money I could have avoided spending if I had had the knowledge. But I knew that I needed to do something, right? I had the drive that I wanted to do something. And that's what I want people to hear, is that, you know, if you wake up and you're just like, you know, I'm tired of this. Like there are
100.
There are options for you to not be in the state that you in. So Tommy, what's next for you, man? What is that you want to do?
Man, Proverbs 13:22, man, it says, a good man leaveth an inheritance for his children's children, and the wealth of the sinner is laid up for the just. I believe as well that better credit equals a bigger legacy. Better credit equals a bigger legacy. And when I think about the journey, I also think about the not only my kids, but your kids as well. Because we not doing this just for ourselves. We're gonna enjoy what we're doing here on earth, but we're doing it for also for the next generation. So my mission, man, is to reverse the effects of poverty, dog. Like we West Side, South Side, we see it. We drive down, we see the drug use. I see it in my family. I see, you know, the hopelessness that we have, and people that gave up on their dreams. You know, they you know, okay with just surviving. And it's time that we start thriving. And the information is out there, the help is out there. Now, the mindset is where we link it up and we think together on things. You know, we ain't got to think alike, but let's think together.
You sound like a West Side pimp, nigga. Talk about some.
From the pineapple to the big apple. From shallow to local. But the thing is, man, through a positive mental attitude, healthy lifestyle, financial literacy, and celebrations. I feel like we kicking it, hanging out, having a good time. We ain't got nothing to celebrate about. Let's actually start eliminating debt. Let's start acquiring assets. And the vision is to create a Christian community, dog, with financial attainment. A Christian community with financial attainment. Because when I actually started, my starting point for it all, man, when I was in debt and everything, was I opened up the Bible, man, and I looked in the book of Proverbs, and it gave me very simple instructions. And I looked at at what ants were doing. I looked at what nature was doing, and even they were being diligent with the resources that God has given them. And so to piggyback off of Jesus and gym shoes, man, it ain't rocket science, it ain't brain science, man. It's simple instructions, man, of management of what we've been given, because we all making money. I don't care. Somebody said it the other day. Don't let a crackhead out hustle you, because they're gonna find $20 to go get them a blow.
Yeah.
like, hey, look, when you get sick and tired of being sick and tired, you know, you'll get your credit fixed, and you'll move on to bigger and better things, man. So for me, man, it's just to be a bridge builder for the next group to come, and for life not to be as challenging as it was for us. You know, a lot of the information we talking about, man, our white counterparts probably eating some sandwiches at a health club, and it's just regular conversation, you know, trust funds and all these different things. So that's really the mindset, dog, is to keep talking about it, keep sharing it, and to build a community to where this is common knowledge. And not only we're not talking about it, but we're applying it, you know, assets over liabilities. Let's go.
Yeah. So, you know, I'll end it there. I know that you said it 9 million times, but we'll say it again. What's the website?
Thomas and Westbrook Consulting.
Thomas and Westbrook Consulting. Thomas spelled THOMAS and Westbrook WESTBROOK Consultant with a G. .com.
There you go, Bishop. Come on, Bishop.
Go ahead and pass the collection plate.
hey, hopefully, hey, I pray that, you know, before long, you know, Jesus and Gym Shoes is at a place where it could buy me some gym shoes, you know, every month.
Yeah.
And it's at a place where, you know, it can then, you know, pay a mortgage or something every month. You know, that'd be dope to be in that place. I think, and then it'll open up doors for me to be able to, you know, speak on platforms because I think life skills is essential. And I think that's one of the things that is left out of everyday Christendom, right? Or everyday, the walk that people have with Jesus. I think that's the thing that's left out. People be preaching all of this stuff, and it's just like, I need something else. I need to be able to make it through life. So on that note, I appreciate you guys. Again, the website is thomasandwestbrookconsulting.com. And this is another episode of Jesus and Gym Shoes, where we have unparalleled conversations about life skills and Jesus. And make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and tell somebody about it, to your mama, your daddy, your cousins, even your baby daddy, because his credit might be jacked up. Because, you know, things happen. So I love you. And until next time, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Peace.
Peace.